Hello guys, so continuing with the renal pathology, today's topic is Buerger's disease or which is also known as IgA nephropathy. This is example for nephritic syndrome. So remember that common findings are hematuria, oliguria, hypertension and azotemia. Now starting with Buerger's disease. In this, remember one thing, there is one more Buerger's disease which is mainly, it is not E, it is U. Therefore, it is Buerger's disease, which is U. Remember, it is example for vasculitis. So that is vasculitis, but this one is renal pathology. When I say IgA antibody, we know that this is present mainly in secretions, like in breast secretions, in secretion of tears. In all the secretion, what we get is IgA antibodies. So therefore, when there is any mucosal infections or inflammation, there is increase in IgA antibodies. For example, consider respiratory tract infection. Therefore, IgA antibody increases in urinary tract infection, in celiac disease, all mucosal associated disease, there is increase in IgA antibodies. So that is just basics. Now coming, this is important because this is the most common disease which is seen in adults plus all over the world. Like amongst all the nephritic and nephrotic, this one is the most common seen all over the world, plus this is most common in adults. Now the site, the most common site is mesangium, in which there is deposition of galactose deficient IgA1 antibody. So first let us understand what is this. Remember, IgA antibodies is divided into two, IgA1 and IgA2. Like this may be IgA1, IgA2 is dimeric form. Okay, it is abnormal there because it is galactose deficient, hence it is abnormal, therefore there will be accumulation of this antibody. Varna normal IgA is eliminated by our immune system, but this is abnormal, it is not recognized in our body. Now why does it deposit only in mesangium? Before that, let's understand what is mesangium. See, like if you consider this as glomerular basement membrane, here there are podocytes, here it is endothelium. This region, this entire region is mesangium. In other words, if I drew like this, okay, this one is afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. So the gap in between beach may is mesangium. Whenever I say Buerger's, remember beach may, because the deposits is in mesangium, which provides support to these vessels. It is in between. Now why does it sit only in mesangium? Because there is one receptor called CD71. Since see, here kidney is called innocent bystander because there is no fault in the kidney functioning. Kidney is normal only, but there is formation of abnormal antibody which comes and sits in kidney and causes chronic renal failure. So basically, kidney is considered as innocent because of only this receptor. The deposits come and sit here and cause hematuria. That is the basic pathogenesis. See, when I say abnormal IgA1 antibody, this abnormal IgA1 leads to formation of IgG antibody in our body. So both of this together will form immune complex. When I told nephritic syndrome, I told I for immune complex. Therefore, both of this form immune complex, which goes and sits in mesangium and causes glomerular injury. And obviously, when there is damage to glomerulus, there is decreased glomerular filtration rate and there is hematuria. Now remember that while talking PSGN, I told that there is activation of complement pathway, therefore there was decrease in C3. But here there is activation of alternate complement pathway, therefore C3 is normal in serum, but there is decrease in C1q and C4. This is very important finding which we can see. There is gross or microscopic hematuria, that is either you can see in naked eye, you can see RBCs in urine, or you can see it only under microscopic examination. This is also very important. This is known as synpharyngitic hematuria. Syn means simultaneous pharyngitic, like whenever there is sore throat or any mucosal problem, along with that there is hematuria, there is no latent period. Example, when I considered PSGN, there was sore throat or pharyngitis. After 14 days there was hematuria, But in this, there is only after 4 days you can see hematuria. That is, it doesn't take much time to form immune complex. It may be associated with sore throat. As I told, in sore throat there is increased mucosal secretion. In celiac disease, in which there is mucosal inflammation. So everything associated with mucosal secretions, or in fact IgA1 antibodies, we can see this disease. And as usual, when we come to treatment, there is we have to just go for supportive treatment. Treat hypertension, decrease the protein intake, maybe decrease chicken or anything which has protein. See, and one of the most common finding is even after renal transplant, there is recurrence of hematuria. This is because there is abnormal IgA1 antibody in our blood. Though you do renal transplant, it will again come and damage your kidney. And this Buerger's disease is known for recurrent hematuria. That is, for some period of time, the disease will subside, and again there will be hematuria. For some period, again there will be no hematuria. The disease will subside, then again there will be hematuria. Basically, this is the normal history with which patient will come, and he is adult, so therefore he can explain better, whereas in PSGN it was pediatric case. Now it is also known as on-off hematuria. I told you the reason. Now here kidney is also called innocent bystander because there was no damage in kidney initially. It is because of abnormal IgA1 antibodies. Now coming to the main difference. See, IgA1 nephropathy and PSGN. In both there can be history of sore throat. Then how to differentiate? See, I told PSGN is seen most commonly in children, but sometimes there can be exception and it can be seen in adult. Even this one sometimes can be seen in children. So therefore, after I say this difference, you have to remember that there is latent period of only 3 days, while patient will say that for 14 days he was totally normal, then there was hematuria. And when we examine the serum complement, here it is normal, C3 is normal, while here for transient or for short period there is decrease in C3, which I have explained in PSGN video clearly. Coming to this one, there is history of recurrent hematuria, and 50% cases it is dangerous one because there can be chance of chronic renal failure. But here there can be no history of recurrent hematuria. Like at once the patient has seen cola colored urine, that's it, and it is self recovery, which I have explained clearly in other video. Now coming to main microscopic finding, see, light microscopy, electron microscopy and immunofluorescence, everything is almost same because there is deposition of IgA1 in mesangium. There is mesangium widening. In electron microscopy you can see that deposit. In immunofluorescence you can see IgA deposits. There are other proteins also like C3, proferrin, but important is IgA1. Okay, everything is basically same. Therefore mesangium will give granular pattern because of deposition of immune complex in mesangium. Again, all these features which I have explained you is same seen in one disease called Henoch-Schönlein purpura. This is small vessel vasculitis. It presents with same history, but along with kidney problem there can be problem in joints, GI tract, or subcutaneous problem. That is how you have to differentiate HSP from IgA nephropathy. And HSP is most commonly, it has purpura, and it's most commonly in children. Now in the end, how to remember everything, I have again a mnemonic for this. See, when I say Buerger's disease or IgA nephropathy, remember it is E, it is not U. U goes for vasculitis, it is E. We'll add 2 alphabets and we'll make 4. Therefore the recurrent or the latent period is only 4 days. When I say A, it is common in adult. We can see IgA1 deposits. When I say Buerger's, beach में indicates mesangium, and you can see there are a lot of Rees, which means it has recurrent hematuria. Then again coming to C, to remember that C3 level is normal and it is most commonly associated with celiac disease. This is very important finding because there is mucosal inflammation. That's it. Thank you.